Welcome back to OverBudget Garage, where today we're moving to the interior on our OBS Chevy. The interior of this truck is looking pretty rough, and most shops would charge thousands to gut it and rebuild everything. Here, we're gonna show you how to take all of this out, reuse what you can, and do the whole thing yourselves, saving you money where it counts. The truck already has full air suspension and a custom vinyl wrap, but the inside of this truck doesn't match the outside yet. We're gonna gut all this out and start fresh. Minor fabrication, new seats, door panels, headliner, and carpet. The goal here is DIY with budget in mind, and to make this truck look like it belongs at the local car shows. The first step in the interior removal process is to get these old nasty seats out. We'll do that by removing the 4 bolts that hold the seats to the seat base bracket. While we're right here, we'll also remove the base of the seatbelt buckle by removing this 1 bolt. And then simply lifting the seats out of place. Next up, we got to get that seat base out of there. This is done by removing the 4 bolts that go through the floor. We need to make sure to save this seat base, as we will be mounting the new seats to it later on. Now that we got the seats out of the truck and the seat bracket or the seat base, we can remove these seatbelt buckles. One thing to make sure when you're removing this kind of stuff, if you see electrical wires, make sure you unplug those before you rip them out of the truck. Most of these are pretty simple to get apart. All right, this is an important part in the project. You're starting to get bolts piling up. Let's take care of those before we forget where they went. It's always a good idea to use Ziploc bags, a little bit of masking tape, and a pen. Mark the bags as to where those bolts went or came out of, so you know where they're supposed to go when you put them back together. Saves you a ton of time. Okay, now that we got the seats and the seat belts out of the truck, we need to remove the carpet and the headliner. To do so, we need to remove all this plastic trim so that we can get access to removing those. Be careful, there is a special process or a special order to getting these plastic trim panels out without breaking them. So don't just go in here and start ripping panels before you know what the order is. We need to start with the sill plates. Next, simply remove the lower kick panels on both sides. Now we can move towards the top of the truck. Remove the A-pillars by just simply pulling the clips located towards the back of the panel and also the clips on the A-pillar themselves. The plastic trim piece that goes across the middle of the cab has to come off next. followed by the middle trim piece that goes across the top of the headliner. This is very important. We need to do these first before we can remove the B-pillar pieces. Now we can remove the B-pillar. Start by removing the upper seatbelt bracket. Followed by the plastic hanger. Then we can remove the 3 screws at the bottom of the B-pillar. Now we can just pull out on the clips and remove the B-pillar from the truck. Now that we have all the trim panels removed, we can move on to the headliner. First, we need to start by removing the sun visors. Now our truck was equipped with a center console in the roof. Some trucks won't have this, but we'll remove this next. Then we can simply just pull the headliner out of the truck. If your truck has the carpet across the back of the cab, simply just pull the clips out. The rest of the carpet now should just pull right out of the truck.
Now is a really good time to check your floors. We're looking for rust. Always check in the corners of the cabs. This truck is actually in really good shape. There's no rust at all, hardly any surface rust anywhere. What we're looking for is holes. Now would be the time to patch those holes if your truck happens to have them.
All right, we're almost done. Last step in the process is to remove the door panels. We do that by removing the 1 screw in the armrest, followed by the trim panel that goes around the lock buttons. And then simply pulling the door clip pins out from the door and removing the panel.
So there you go. With just a couple basic hand tools, a few hours in the garage, we've all but gutted the interior of this OBS truck. Saved ourselves a ton of money by doing it ourselves. I hope that this helps some of you guys with your next OBS interior project. If it did, or if you'd like to see what we're putting back in this thing, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you guys in the next build series.